What's up, guys? Welcome to the video today. Today we're talking about gym anxiety or social anxiety within the context of the gym. And when I'm talking about gym anxiety, let's just define terms so that way we're on the same page. I'm referring to when you go to the gym, worrying about how other people are judging you, what other people think about you, and also not knowing exactly what to do at the gym, which is also causing more anxiety and fear. Let's start off with some general things to consider. A lot of times fear or anxious feelings can come from the unknown, not knowing about something, and so what our mind does will create this scenario in our head, usually a worst case scenario, especially when it comes to the gym, where you feel like you're going to make a mistake at the gym. You're not going to know what exercise to do or how to perform it right, and all of a sudden you're going to get hurt or end up on the ground. People are going to make fun of you, and it's going to be a very embarrassing, really terrifying, and terrible experience. However, this fear is not based in reality. Like I said, it's a worst case scenario that you've just created up in your head, and it's not based in logic or in reality. By understanding that important point, that is how you can defeat this illogical and emotional fear. You have to tackle it logically and try to ground yourself in reality. Now, before I give specific examples and practical advice for overcoming those emotional fears and those illogical thoughts, let's talk about how you should feel approaching this situation. Number one, don't feel bad. Don't feel abnormal at all about having gym anxiety or social anxiety. It's actually pretty common, more common than you might think. I've actually helped a lot of people in person dealing with this specific issue. And so don't feel like you're extremely weird or abnormal or you're the only person in the world that has this problem, because there are lots of people that do. And that's part of why I'm making the video. I get asked this question a lot by people online as to how to overcome gym anxiety and how to feel more comfortable working out in general. Don't tie your self-worth and don't place a value judgment on your gym anxiety in regards to who you are as a person or what it says about your character. And what I mean by that is you're not a bad person just because you have gym anxiety or social anxiety or anything like that. That's another issue. And let's try not to continue to emotionally charge and perpetuate the anxiety by making a value judgment on ourselves. So for example, don't tell yourself you're a bad person, you're abnormal, you're weird, you're strange because you're dealing with gym anxiety. Gym anxiety, like I said, is relatively common, and it's not something that you should continue to emotionally charge by telling yourself that you're a bad person because you experience it. What can happen if you continue to do that is you can lead to a negative feedback loop, a negative downward cycle where you keep telling yourself that you're a bad person because you have gym anxiety. And then you tell yourself you're a bad person because you think you're a bad person for having gym anxiety. Then you tell yourself you're an idiot because you're thinking all of these negative thoughts about yourself. Before you know it, you're just thinking negative thoughts just for thinking negative thoughts. Not trying to oversell positivity or anything like that, but let's just try to ground ourselves in reality and use logic here to try to weed through this and work through a practical approach to solving the situation. Practical step number one, start off with an exercise routine at home. Start learning how to do your basics, like your push-ups, your body weight squats, and maybe some dumbbell curls. You could check out my YouTube channel for other videos where I specifically walk you through how to perform exercises with good form at home. Because when you're performing exercises at home and learning how to exercise at home, you're not dealing with all the external crap, the external factors of other people judging you and the fears of making a mistake. Because if you make a mistake at home, it's relatively safe. Nobody knows except you. You just pick yourself up and you move on. No big deal. So that way when you go to the gym, because that's the ultimate goal, is to get into the gym, that you'll have the ability to perform the exercises and you'll feel more comfortable doing them because you already have experience with them. And so that ultimately will be one less fear, one less thing to have to worry about and tackle down the road because we're addressing it at home in an environment that's much safer. Step number two, expose yourself to the fear. Fear is created in your mind. It's usually not grounded in reality. There are some basic fears that we have, and the goal of fear, generally speaking, is to protect ourselves. Don't touch a stove because it's hot. That's a logical fear. Don't go to the gym because other people are going to make fun of you, you're going to get hurt, and some huge bad negative situation is going to happen. Not so logical. More emotional. So try to differentiate between the types of fears you're experiencing, and in order to tackle and overcome the fears that are more emotional and not logical based or based in reality, you have to expose yourself to them. And so for the practical step number two, go to the gym and walk on the treadmill for 10 or 15 minutes. Expose yourself to the gym environment. Maybe you're a person who's never been to the gym before and you have no idea what to expect. Well, this will help you to know what to expect. You'll be in the gym, you'll be on the treadmill. Walking is something basic. We do that all the time. So if you're just walking for 10 or 15 minutes, there's not a whole lot of risk there. Not a whole lot of bad things can happen. And as you're walking on the treadmill, be conscious of the environment. Look around. Notice other people. Watch what they're doing. See that other people aren't just making fun of each other all the time. People are doing people things, what they normally do. Interacting with each other, or just focusing on themselves and trying to get big, checking themselves out in mirrors, taking pictures for the social media, and so on. It's not too much different than anywhere else. Start to help you to realize that your fear is not very logical. And when you look at the situation from a logical perspective, by actually being in the environment of the gym, you start to realize that, hey, this isn't so bad. I can at least go to the gym and walk on the treadmill. Nothing bad's going to happen to me there. So that's step number 2. Step number 3, slowly expose yourself to more of the gym. That's not what it sounds like, so don't get the wrong idea here. What I mean by this is, after we've gotten in the habit and the ability to go to the gym and walk on the treadmill, we're not going to take our pants off and show everyone. But what we're going to do is we're going to start expanding our horizons, or using the specific exercises that we've already practiced in step number 1, the push-ups, the bodyweight squats, dumbbell curls. Now let's do those at the gym. You could just do 3 exercises one day, and then maybe the next week, after you've gotten in the habit of doing a couple exercises, you can start to expand, do some more things. Maybe you can start to try out some new exercises that you haven't done before. Always make sure you're looking up how to do them, how to perform them properly, so that way you're safe when you're performing them. And that will also help with the anxiety too, because you have an ability to perform basic exercises. You've already been exposed to the gym environment. Now we need to continue to expose ourselves to more of the gym environment, so that way we can continue to tear down those last few barriers, those last few illogical and emotional based fears that we have in our head as to how people are going to react to us working out. And also our fears of making mistakes. That last fear of making a mistake and having something bad happen to you is not totally illogical. That's one fear that might be a little bit more logical. However, how you respond to that and how you choose to accept that fear is very important. You don't want to blow that out of proportion. Trust me, pretty much everybody who's gone to the gym, myself included, has done something stupid. It's part of being human. You do it anywhere. You go to the store, you slip and you fall, you break something unintentionally. Stuff happens. And so that one, like I said, is a little bit more logical, but you have to keep it in context. It's not like you're going to go to the gym every single day, something bad's going to happen. And usually when something unusual happens, not necessarily bad, but unusual, it's usually minor. I try to put a dumbbell back in the rack and it slips and falls on the ground. Big deal. So mistakes will happen, failure will happen for sure. I'm not going to lie to you about that. But just make sure you're aware that it's going to be relatively minor. Don't beat yourself up over it. It's not the end of the world. Like I said, everybody makes mistakes at the gym, and they're nothing to be so afraid of that you don't go to the gym. To summarize, don't feel bad about your gym anxiety. Start by exercising at home, learning how to do the basics, then start to go to the gym, maybe walking on the treadmill, observing the environment, and then the third step is start to expose yourself to more exercises and more things at the gym, so that way you start to feel more comfortable working out at the gym. And then don't be afraid of the common mistakes or regular things that happen, because those are just a result of being a human. Happens to everybody, and it's nothing to be super afraid about. Don't really worry about what other people think about you, because what people think about you is their own problem. It says a lot about their character, not about you. You're doing an admirable and a noble thing by going to the gym, trying to improve yourself, trying to work on your goals. And that's something to be respected. And anyone who doesn't think that that's worthy of respect is a scumbag. So you don't need to worry about those people. They're self-selecting themselves out of your life anyways. So they're doing you a favor by showing you that they're not someone you want to associate with. So don't worry about those people. To conclude the video, this is a process. It's not going to be an overnight thing. When I've worked with people in real life overcoming this gym anxiety, for example, there's varying degrees of it. Some people are, a little bit more anxious about it than other people. Some people have a little bit of a background in exercise. Some people have no background in exercise. So cut yourself some slack. You're working on a great thing. And I want to encourage you and motivate you any way that I can to help you to get to the gym and start exercising and feeling more comfortable in that environment. Because you can absolutely get to a point where you feel more comfortable and normal going to the gym. I get asked this question pretty regularly, so I wanted to do a video addressing it. If it was helpful, please give it a like. Please subscribe down below for future videos. And as always, let me know in the comments what you think. Feel free to let me know if you're experiencing this and you want some more advice, or you want to talk through anything. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Keep working out, keep making those gains. Have a good one.